Just when you thought you had it figured out, I changed the camera angle on you.
Vlog every damn day.
Hello everybody, my name is Jeremy and welcome to another Disney doll review. I was going to stick with another one of the companions this week, but I decided to divert... what is the word? Trail off? Screw it. I decided to choose a new path this week, and I am actually going to be reviewing the new Cinderella doll, which I purchased some time ago, and again, I just felt like doing it also because Jacob did his review on the new Cinderella, and I thought it might be only appropriate that I do it too, because I know a lot of you guys like to watch both of our videos as far as the reviews are concerned and then do comparisons on our feels about the dolls. This is the old version of the Cinderella doll, and this is the one that is not fully articulated in her legs, and this is the new 2012 doll, which is completely articulated. Ooh. So I'm going to be completely straightforward here from the get-go, is that I agree on many of Jacob's points that I actually really like the new dolls. Cinderella was just one of those dolls that I was like, oh my gosh, she is so much better than her counterpart. Now don't get me wrong, the mannequin Cinderella is very pretty and I love this dress, I love the concept behind it, but this doll was so much more, what's the word, beautifully executed. As far as her face is concerned, I actually really liked this dress better. I love the hamburger helper gloves that are on this doll, but I love the dress. And I pretty much hate the choker because it's got this awkward thing in the back that just, it takes away from the magic, is really all that it is, and I don't like it. The headband is almost exactly the same between the two dolls, and we will start from the top where this lovely little bun is. And if you will notice, the one from last year's model looks like crap. And I have not played with this doll. I have not moved her. I took her out of the box and I put her on my shelf, and she has not moved since then, except for the move between my old apartment and this one, and somehow her hair has ended up like this. But still, the concepts behind this bun were so poorly executed. It's like a big bumpet on top of her head for one, but then it curls into a second bun in the back, and it's just this awkward piece of hair that's hanging off, that's all attached by this braid back here, and it just looks so poorly executed. I love the bangs, I love the idea that went into it, they tried really hard, it just didn't work. And then you have this gorgeous creature who has this like cinnamon bun that curls all the way up and then goes in, and then the ugly tacky piece that's supposed to stick up is in there somewhere, so then it doesn't bother you. Now if you were to take this out, it would be a disaster, but still, it's so much better executed. Now if you will also take note, the hair is also a little bit darker on the brand new doll, which I appreciate better because it's a little bit truer to her character rather than this really platinum blonde that they have been going for over the past several years, which isn't really true to Cinderella's character because in her movie she actually was a little bit more of a redhead than a blonde. Also about the 2012 doll is that they have styled the Cinderella to have a sort of wispy hair that comes off, which Jacob wasn't too fond of, but I actually think it's really cute and I think it's super endearing. And okay, here's Jeremy's little rant time. Everything in the history of the world, no matter what it is, if it is going to continue to defeat the plague of time, it has to update with the current culture and with the current fashions and with the current styles, just as something like Doctor Who, where it must continue to grow with its audience, just like something like The Simpsons, which is a horrible comparison to Cinderella and Doctor Who, to anything that has withstood the test of time and has been around for a very long time. It must update itself. Cinderella is a very old classic princess as far as Disney is concerned, and a much older character as far as fairy tales are concerned. Even with characters like Snow White, we are seeing her reprived in different roles, in different settings, in different features. Every single time she's growing with the way that our audience is wanting to perceive her. Same with Cinderella. She has to continue to grow, and so I like the way that they interpreted it now that I have sort of immersed myself into these dolls and bought a couple of them rather than just like judging them from afar. I really like the way that they have taken this idea of modernizing them by changing up their costumes a little bit and changing up the hair a little bit. And I love this little side curl. It's so cute. Like, tell me that's not adorable. If you don't think it's adorable, I'm sorry, I do. I really, really do. As far as the face is concerned, the new Cinderella is looking off to the side, whereas the old Cinderella is looking straight at you like a mannequin. Their eyebrows are pretty much exactly the same, and I will give you a little bit of a close-up here so that you can see them better. The eyes are different, the eyebrows are essentially the same. The makeup is a little bit lighter on this doll, on the new one, rather than on the old one. Also, the eyelashes are much darker and are much chunkier on the new doll rather than on the old doll, where they look like individual eyelashes rather than one long, modernized, like very cartoony looking eyelash, which I actually really appreciate on the new doll. I think you are so not cool. You are so not cool. Nothing about you is cool. I hate that. Also, I feel like the new doll's face is a little bit sweeter than the old one, who kind of looks like she's glaring into your soul and is going to take it from you, whereas the new one kind of looks like, let's just dance all night and fall in love. Why not? They have the exact same earrings. Nothing has been changed to those, which I have no problems with. I actually am really glad that they kept that. Now let's talk about the costume, because the costume is the biggest thing that has been changed. There is no bosom jewel like on the old doll, but as I said with this Cinderella, I actually think the bosom jewel works for her. With the new one, they lowered the neckline as well as the shoulder line, and they changed the poofs. With the old doll, we have these very big, chunky movie poofs that are big and white and fluffy, and on the new doll, we have these over-the-shoulder poofs that are a little more elasticy, look a little more modern, and a little sexier, and a little more risque, yet kind of this fun, quirky, like high school prom thing, which I'm totally digging. They were not sparing with the glitter on this doll, much like the old one, which looks like she fell into a tub of glitter. This one is pretty glittertastic, not as much so as the old one, but still pretty glittertastic. The side poofs on the waist are much different from each other. The new doll looks like it's got more layers into it, as the old one looks a little bit more just like one piece of fabric. It looks a little bit cheaper, so I liked the way that the side poofs were what is the word? It starts with an E. Executed. Why couldn't I find that? Where was that word in my dictionary? I need to read the dictionary again. I liked the way that the side poofs were executed on the new doll rather than the old one. And again, I love that she has the gloves because it matches with the movie, it matches with the characters in the park. It just works so much better. Next, the actual color of the dress on the old doll is a little bit more of a turquoise, where the new doll is a much darker royal blue, and I actually like this a lot better than this turquoise blue. I would have liked to have seen a dress that was more styled like this, but again, I understand where the concept between the new doll is coming from. Finally, let's talk about these gorgeous slippers. There's nothing to be said about this, except why didn't this happen sooner? With the old doll, we have these very yellow, white, pale glass slippers that look very much like plastic, and then we have the new ones, which are styled so much nicer. They look cleaner, they look much clearer, they actually look like real glass, and I think it adds to the effect so much better. So much better. Can I just say that, please? So much better. So my final breakdown, I actually have to give the brand new Cinderella a 4.8 out of 5 Duffies, because she is just way too perfect. The only thing that I don't like is the choker, but I had the same problem with this doll. I love the bun, I love the styling of her face, I love the styling of her dress, I love her shoes, I love the gloves. Everything about her that I didn't like about the old doll has been fixed. However, I just want to say that this doll rocks the old dress way better than I thought she would have been able to, and now she looks elegant and classy again. So if you really have problems with the new dolls and the way that their styling of their costumes and dresses are, what you could do is just buy the new doll specifically just for the face mold, for the posability, and for these freaking gorgeous glass slippers, and then just put the old dress on it. Because what is wrong with this? She looks perfect. Like, seriously. So thank you guys all so much for watching, and I will see you guys all next week with another Disney Store doll review, and I may get to Jasmine, or I may do Ursula. We'll see. Peace. Peace out. You think a mouse. Ooh, there's glitter everywhere.